People saw him sitting alone in the corner of the cafe every single morning. Same table, same posture, same quiet eyes staring out the window, as if waiting for something that never arrived. Most ignored him. Some whispered. A few laughed at him. But not one of them knew the truth. That the quiet boy they thought was strange, was actually the heir to the cafe they were sitting in. Not one of them imagined that everything around them, the chairs they sat on, the pastries they ordered, even the air they breathed inside those walls, already belonged to him. And what happened next changed that cafe forever. Before we continue, if you believe kindness still matters in this world, make sure to subscribe to Kindness Action. Like this video, leave a comment about how you would treat someone sitting alone, and share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Now, let's begin. His name was Yuki. He was 19, soft-spoken, dressed in simple clothes, with hair that sometimes fell over his eyes. Every morning he ordered the cheapest thing on the menu, just a cup of tea. He always sat quietly, hands together, almost in prayer, staring into the cup like it held the whole world inside it. To most customers, he looked poor. Maybe even a little strange. Some people avoided sitting near him. One business traveler once laughed and said loudly, "Someone needs to tell that kid this isn't a free hostel." Another customer said, "Maybe he's waiting for someone to buy him food." The staff never defended him. They were too busy. Except for one person. Her name was Alicia. She was a waitress who worked long shifts and smiled even when her feet hurt. Every morning, she placed Yuki's tea gently on the table and always said the same thing. "Let me know if you need anything else." And every morning, he bowed his head respectfully and said softly, "Thank you. That is very kind." She didn't know why those words always echoed in her mind. Maybe because he was the only customer who ever said thank you like he meant it. One cold Monday, something changes. The cafe was packed. A man in an expensive suit walked in. He was loud, joking with everyone, acting like he owned the place. When he saw Yuki sitting quietly, he pointed and laughed. "Look at this kid. Hey, do they give free ramen with that haircut?" People chuckled. Alicia froze. She looked at the boy, afraid he would cry, but he simply bowed his head, and stayed silent. For the first time, anger rose in her chest. She walked over and said, "Sir, we don't tolerate disrespect here." The men waved her off. "It's a joke. Relax." But then something unexpected happened. The cafe door opened again, and in walked three sharply dressed men in black suits, lawyers. One looked around and spoke loudly. "Is a young man named Yuki here?" Everyone turned. The quiet boy slowly stood up. "Yes," he said softly. The lawyer handed him a document, bowing slightly. "Your father's last request has been fully processed. As of today, you are the legal owner of this cafe and all connected properties." A painful silence hit the room. The man in the expensive suit swallowed. The customers froze. Alicia stared with wide eyes. Yuki took a deep breath. His voice was gentle. "My father used to run this place. He met my mother here. They dreamed of a cafe where everyone felt welcome. When she passed away, he told me to never forget kindness." He looked at the people who had ignored him so many times. "I came every day, not to spy on anyone, but to see how people treat someone they think has nothing." A woman sitting nearby whispered, "Oh no," as guilt washed over the room. Then Yuki smiled, just a little. "There is only one person here who ever made me feel seen," he said. He looked directly at Alicia. "You treated me with kindness every day, even when you didn't have to." Alicia's eyes filled with tears. The lawyer stepped forward. "Mr. Yuki would like to make an announcement." Yuki nodded and said, "From this day forward, every employee will receive higher pay and better schedules. No one should work with pain in their feet and still have to smile." The staff gasped. "And to every customer here," he continued, "your meal today is free, with one condition." Everyone listened, breath held. "Promise me you will think twice before judging someone, simply because they sit quietly, or look different, or order something cheap." The room was silent. Then one by one, people stood. Some bowed. Some whispered, "I'm sorry." One woman hugged Alicia. The man in the expensive suit tried to speak, but words got stuck in his throat. Yuki simply bowed to him and said, "No anger. Just kindness. That is how we change things." That day changed the cafe forever. People came not just for coffee, but for the reminder that every single person walking through those doors mattered. Alicia became the cafe manager. She greeted every customer like they were important, because they were. And every morning, Yuki sat in the same corner, drinking his tea, not because he had to anymore, but because he wanted to remember. Kindness doesn't require wealth. But wealth means nothing without kindness, so the next time you see someone sitting alone, someone quiet, someone who looks different, remember this story: you never know who they are. You never know what they carry inside their heart. But kindness always matters. If this story touched your heart, share it. Leave a comment. Let today be the day you choose kindness, because it might just change someone's world. And don't forget to subscribe to Kindness Action, where every story reminds us that one small act of kindness can change everything. The end.